Good morning, my friends. It's a little too breezy and nasty still here in Surfside, so I think I'm going to take refuge in my car, bring you the rest of the report from there. Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm up here hiding out in my car. It is time for, as you well know, coffee. No, it's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, everybody. Still pretty breezy down there on the beach. We're expecting more rain today. Not much accomplished here locally. Well, I'm going to cover it all for you, but I've got to tell you, I've set this ticking time bomb into motion right now. Because every time I do a report from my car, I inevitably get a phone call, 100 messages from Scott Buchert. Deckhand and good friend Scott Buchert, who's down in San Diego, will start sending me, "You're a wussy. Why can't you do it on the beach? What a big baby you are." So that ticking time bomb has been set in motion. And as soon as Scott gets up and realizes that I took refuge in the car, I'm going to get all kinds of messages. So here it goes. All right, it's great to be with you. Man, that was pretty good rain yesterday. It was windy and rainy and nasty. No time to be out on the water. In fact, Tom Durer and I were out there just the other day. Let me give you a little taste of that right now. Time to get the hell out of this. Pretty nasty. I told Tom it's time to get the hell out of here, and then I heard him chuckling downstairs. I was upstairs, he was downstairs, and that was a pretty fun moment, I have to say. But it shows you the raw power of the Eastern Pacific, or the ocean in general. It is nasty. All right, hey, how about I share a couple photos from a great angler, Captain Pete Grossbeck. Pete was down in Panama. I fished down there before. I love fishing Central America, Costa Rica, where I lived for a year. Beautiful countries down there, lovely people, and some awfully good fishing, as illustrated by some of these photos by Pete Grossbeck. That's pretty good. Long-range fishing remains pretty darn good. Down the Baja coast, 600-700 miles, the Independence has been cranking on some nice fish. They were getting wahoo, yellowfin, tuna, and a variety of other species. It's been good fishing down that way for not only the Independence, but several boats, and they just keep cranking. Good weather, great fishing. I mean, how can you beat that when we're in this kind of weather right here? All right, let me take you to our usual spot across the border, down there to San Quintin area, Cabo San Lucas, I'll mention briefly. But before I do, this Thursday, we'll be at the Redondo Rod and Gun Club, and you're invited. If you'd like to attend, you want some raffle tickets to purchase online, or you prefer to purchase them in person and be there for the drawing, because that'll be Thursday night, you can do that. If you need me to send you our new and revised charter list with another San Diego trip, I'll send you that. The number to text is 657-227-6459, unless you're Scott Buchert, and then lay off, okay? I got you, okay? I'm a baby. Gotcha. But if you want our charter list or anything else, just send me a text. I'll be happy to do it. And we'll see you Thursday night, I hope, over there at the Redondo Rod and Gun Club. Danny Cadota will be there. Great guy and doing a great job with his shows on Thursday evenings. There will be a show Thursday, and then we're going to run over to the Redondo Rod and Gun Club, so it should be really a lot of fun. Our charter list includes a great one-day trip now on board the Apollo, 657-227-6459. Cabo San Lucas, beautiful weather down there, and I'm talking 70 degrees, a little, mid-70s, air temp, same thing on the water temp. Still dry marlin down there, some thresher sharks, really nice dorado fishing at times. It has been really a lovely start to the year down in Cabo San Lucas. We bring you up there to the San Quintin area, and man, when they can get away from the weather, they're catching some good yo-yo ironfish. Dennis Luang is a guy who lives in San Ysidro but has a business in Tijuana, and a fabulous guy who has helped us when we are taking care of people who really need our help down in Mexico. Dennis, thank you so much for all you do. But Dennis said he's been down there and they've been catching some nice fish, 18, 20, 25-pound yellows, yo-yo iron, really nice fishing in the San Quintin area. They fish San Martin Island or coastal areas, and they're catching copious amounts of nice rockfish. Also, I'm talking nice big bocaccio or reds or lings. Man, they have some great fishing. And you know, while they're picking off a halibut or two right now, we get a little bit more towards spring. They have some excellent flat fishing down there also. Really, really fun stuff. So we're keeping our eyes on that. Of course, this inclement weather is not helping, and it has extended down to that range. Same thing there at Blackfin Sportfishing. They've had some nasty weather and some wind, but when they're able to get out, it's been mostly rockfish. And again, good lingcod fishing, more and more of those lings moving into the shallows around Santo Tomas, and that's in range of those guys because they're located out there in Punta Banda. So they found some really good fishing down there in that neck of the woods. And the ambience of fishing with Blackfin is great. I mean, such nice guys, and they'll treat you to some sashimi when you return. It really feels great to fish with those guys. You feel like you got a whole bunch of new friends when you get out of there. Same thing with Arnie Sport Fishing. Arnie's a prince of a guy. Now, when you first come into Ensenada, there's a commercial fishing area, and Arnie is located there. So if you want to find out or get more information or book with him, you can do that by going to Arnie's Sport Fishing on Facebook. And then Diego Nuno, who is a deckhand on board the Royal Star and a super good guy, mi hermano. He fishes there in Ensenada near the cruise ship dock. All you got to do, well, he'll show you, but it's easy. You go through a guarded gate, park inside, jump on Diego's boat, and go have some fun. He loves fishing wintertime bass. That is also available to you. And then along Punta Banda, we're seeing more and more big bonita and not too many yellowtail here recently. But of course, we're dealing with this crazy weather right now. So we'll have to get through that as we go along. So that's been the situation. Now, that is one way to fish rockfish right now because we're closed here in Southern California. If you're watching from some other part of the world, our rockfish season, and those are really good eating fish, it's closed until April the 1st. So that's the advantage of being so close to the Mexican border. We can go down and fish with our brothers and sisters down there, or you can jump on a San Diego-based boat and head down there when this weather mellows out a little bit. And it's going to be a little bit breezy for the time being. But the premier out of H&M Landing is doing extended trips Monday through Friday where they cross the border. So now they're able to fish rockfish. Rockfish is not closed in Mexico, and they're doing that Monday through Friday. On the weekends, they're running double half-day trips, so they are not going across the border then. But several other boats down there are running these trips down to Punta Colonet. Now, Colonet is on the Mexican coast, and you go about 120 miles, and that's where you're going to be fishing. They're catching lots of big rockfish and occasional good fishing on yellowtail. All right, now those crews will show you exactly how to yo-yo an iron, but that's the best way to get it done. A heavy jig, sink to the bottom. Sometimes you end up catching a big lingcod instead of a yellowtail. Oh my God, the world's come to an end, right? But you just basically, and you need a little more instruction than this, but the crews down in San Diego are number one, man. I don't know if it gets any better. Wind on it fast, and that's how you get a bite, okay? So you wind fast on your lure, fishing heavy line, 50 or 60, and when you get a bite, you do not rear back on the rod to set the hook. You don't do any of that. You just keep grinding, like Scott will be doing about me doing the report in the car here in about 30 seconds. So, once again, you got that as an alternative. Now, bluefin tuna. Are they gone? Are they here? Nobody knows for sure because of this weather. And unfortunately, it's blowing right now out on Tanner Bank, and it's going to be that way through Wednesday, Thursday. It's just nasty out there. And even on the days when the wind lays down a little bit, you're going to have a residual big swell. It's going to be pretty nasty out there. So that is something to keep in mind. We'll just have to wait and see. We may never get back out there again until spring time, maybe March, April, something like that. Or we might get somebody out there. We get some Santa Ana conditions here, some flat, calm weather. Somebody might buzz out there, private boater, and we'll get an idea of whether it's there. The water temps are cool, but there's been so much market squid out there that it hasn't really made a difference. So once again, everybody, really opportune time when the weather comes down to get another look at it. We just don't know if the fish are there anymore or not. And it makes it a little more dicey that rockfish season is closed because you don't have anything to fall back on. The tuna are gone. There's nothing else to do. So we'll see how that all unfolds. Water temperature's cooler. Seems to be plenty of bait there, which holds the fish normally. But everything is in flux right now with this crummy weather that we've been experiencing. Now, when you get a little bit of good weather, I'll tell you, this local bass bite has been really good out of Marina Del Rey sport fishing. Spitfire's been cranking on some nice sand bass on a regular basis, daytime and nighttime. New Del Mar, same thing. Drop to Redondo. They've had some great fishing for some private boaters down there. And then here at 22nd Street Landing, well, I'm not here, but where our home studio is at 22nd Street Landing, the Monte Carlo and Brian Burrell and Walt up there driving the boat, Steve Conradi Jr. Those guys have been providing some really good bass action also. The sand bass, few calico bass, biting pretty good. You're fishing sliding egg sinker, depends on wind and current how heavy that will be. A 1/0 size hook with a live squid or fresh dead squid. You can fish leadhead and squid also. You want to fish as heavy a line as you can possibly get away with. That's going to be the key to your success. Not that the fish are that enormous, but they live in these awful neighborhoods, just corroded with all kinds of little holes where those bass run back into. So when you hook one, you've got to start winding and pulling as fast as you can to keep them out of those pinnacles and those little holes in a ship or whatever refuge they seek. So Opsin Fluorocarbon, you know that's our favorite, www.opsinusa.com. Put in FA at checkout, and you will get a love note from owner Greg Brown. Yes, sometimes perfumed, and also a free gift. So that's pretty much the local scene right now because there's a whole heck of a lot going on, and we're going to have windy conditions off and on. You'll be able to get out a few days, but right now pretty nasty. And again, we'll have some periods of really nice weather. It's not horrible out there right now. It's blowing 12 knots, but it's going to gust up this afternoon. We're going to have more rain, and that will be a similar theme. The rain's going to be out of the picture here real soon. So Monday and on, I don't see a whole lot of rain in the forecast, so that's good news because it's those clearing winds behind these storms that shove them out or bring them in that create all the problem in the really nasty oceans. All right, my friends, I'm going to run a couple shorts here. It's always good to be with you. I'm waiting for Scott's phone calls and messages and constant harassment. Scott, have you ever heard of elder abuse? Be careful, my friend. All right, you guys, have a great day. It's always good to start my morning off with each and every one of you. May I toast you one more time? I know this cup has seen better days, okay? But there's a little bit of nostalgia, sentimental value to it. First, it's the USA. Second, I started the morning briefing with this very cup. I don't know, maybe I'll have to retire it one day. But for now, it's good to be with you all. Have a great day. Oh, my God. Even though that's kind of cool right now, it's still really good. Appreciate all your support. Can't thank you enough. If you could hit that like button, we deeply appreciate it. Subscribe if you get a chance. Share these videos with a friend. And once again, I hope to see you really, really soon. Have a great Sunday, my friend. Is attempting to splice Paul's rod into another reel. They've got to splice this before the fish makes a run. Hey, tie a knot. Come here, sir. Come here. Good job, boys.
Wants to stop through. Hey, I see color. I see color.
Perfect. Good job. Awesome. Beautiful. Good job. Like Point Vincennes days back in the 70s. Look at that. Nothing better than a wide open calico bass bite along the Baja coast.
Good one. Swimming with.
Always memorable times with Costa Baja Sport Fishing near Ensenada.